Hey there and welcome. This is Laura Lynn with Keep Inking Up. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up! In San Antonio, Texas. And today I want to share a really clean and simple Mother's Day card. Mother's Day is right around the corner, so I want to make sure that you all are ready to make those cards. I'm going to use the sentiment, the Mother's Day sentiment from the perennial postage, and I do want to let you know that this one is retiring and it will not be available after next week, so after May 1st. Actually, it's available until May 1st. May 1st is when our new catalog goes live, and so this stamp set will no longer be available. But I really like the Happy Mother's Day sentiment from this particular stamp set. I like the combination of the fonts. But of course, if you have another Happy Mother's Day sentiment from another stamp set, of course you can use that. Anytime I make a video, you can always use other supplies and things. I'm just trying to give you inspiration with what I'm going to use. And if you are following me at all, you know that I like to make one layer cards. We're also going to be using the painted lavender stamp set, by the way. So, put that out of the way as well. We're going to make a one layer card. If you follow me at all, you know that I like to challenge myself to one layer cards. So I'm going to start with a sheet of our thick basic white cardstock that is 11 by 4 1/4, and it's scored in half at 5 1/4 or 5 1/2. So I'm going to use my bone folder and burnish that score line. So I make a top folding card. Top folding cards are my favorite. Of course, you can do this with the other type of folding card. This is just my personal preference. So there I have the card now lays nice and flat because I've used a bone folder to burnish that score line. So here is my card base, and I'm going to start with my sentiment. I already have it mounted here on my block. And just to let you know too, another tip that I do is in order to have my sentiments stamped straight on my projects, what I do is I use my grid paper when I mount my sentiments on my block, and I line up the block on the grid paper, and then I line up the sentiment on the grid paper. Then I test it on the grid paper to make sure it's straight. Now, because I've done that, I can use my block as the way to align it on my project. So I'm going to use I have my colors right here. I'm going to be using Petunia Pop, which is going to be a new in color coming in the next annual catalog, Green Apple Green, and Berry Burst. The Petunia Pop and the Berry Burst are wonderful sister colors, I guess you would call them. So I'm going to be using those two colors. So I'm going to use the darker of the two for my sentiment. So I'll open up my Berry Burst. I'm going to ink up my stamp, just tap, tap, tap. Make sure I've got pretty good coverage, which I do. And again, like I said, I'm going to use my block to help guide me to put make sure my card is folding this way, so I'll make sure that I put it correctly. I'm going to use my block to stamp my sentiment on the upper right-hand corner. Lovely. It's nice and straight because of using that tip, so I hope that you learned a new tip that way. I'm going to go ahead and close this ink pad for now because I don't want to make a mess with that. Next, I'm going to take some of the images from the painted lavender. Let me bring that in again. As you can see, they've got some lovely floral images on this, and this will be carrying over to the new annual catalog, so there's no urgency on this one, but there is urgency on the sentiment stamp set. So there's lots of floral images, but there are no sentiments in this set, but that's okay. You can use sentiments from other things that you have. So this is like a two-step image that I'm going to be using, two of the floral images. So I'm going to use the larger one with the lighter pink color, which is the Petunia Pop. I love this new in color. It's a real pretty purpley pink color. I love it. So let's open that up, and I'm going to ink up this image. Make sure it's got some nice coverage, and then I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to make 3 flowers. So I'm going to put this one, let's see, we'll put it right about there. And then I'll ink up my stamp again, and I'm going to do this one down right there. Oops, I got a smudge there. So you know what? We're going to try to cover that up by putting the floral right there. I think that'll be okay. That just happens. Oh, I got some ink on my fingers. Let me go ahead and get my Stampin' chamois so I can clean my fingers and my stamp off. Oh, it just happens. but that's okay. I think I covered it up pretty well. And I can close up this ink pad. And then I'm going to take out that berry burst again and use the other stamp image of the flowers. I'll ink that up, and this is going to go right in the middle of those flowers I've already had stamped. And this just gives a little bit of dimension to the flower with the two colors. They don't have to be lined up exactly. Can you see that? So anyway, let me go ahead and, because these colors stain really well, I'm going to go ahead and clean my stamp up pretty quickly just with my Stampin' Chamois so I can get as much ink off of that. They are stained, but at least they're not stained worse. And then I'm going to come in with my stem image in Granny Apple Green. So I'll open this up. I've got my grid paper below my card base because I'm going to ink up that stem. And we'll stamp that right there. And then I've got to do the two other stems as well. And one more. And there you go. There is the completed card. I know it seems it's a little bit simple, but sometimes simple is great, and all of our mothers really, that's the thought that counts. They just really want to be remembered. I know I do. So this is just a really clean and simple, quick and easy card, a single layer card for Mother's Day. And I think the fonts on the sentiments just really set it off, and the flowers are just so pretty. And you could put more flowers if you wanted to, or less, whatever you would like to do. A single flower would be great. It is good to do things in threes. It's just kind of a design tip. Things in threes just tends to be pleasing to the eye. So anyway, so there is my card, but I did want to share some other cards that I've been making with the stamps, with the same stamps, with this sentiment and these flowers. So here's one where I did a grouping of the flowers, and then I did some sponging with our, not sponging, blending with our blending brushes. But again, it has the same sentiment and the same flowers. But I layered it on a petunia pop layer there. Here's another one where I did, I used the coordinating dies to go with the flowers, and I created a little floral bouquet, but again, I had the same sentiment. And then this die cut in the background is using the perennial postage dies that actually comes in the bundle with these, with the perennial postage sentiment stamp sets. So here are the set of dies that look like stamps. Now these are carrying over to the new catalog, just the stamp set is not. So if you want to get the bundle now, you can to save 10%. But I just really like that that bouquet, and that uses some of the other dies from the bundle. And then this was the inside. Again, this You Are Loved Beyond Measure is from that same perennial postage sentiment set. And then I added a few more flowers on the inside. So that's another really pretty card. Then this one went a little bit different colors. I have blue and purple instead of pinks and purples. So this again uses the same sentiment that I die cut with a label shape. I added some linen thread behind it and with the dimensional bouquet of flowers below. And then I have some texture on there using the 3D embossing folders, the basics 3D embossing folders. And then I added the cute little butterfly that's also in the painted lavender stamp set. There's some flowers and some butterflies on here as well. So there is that card. Again, just a very different kind of color combination. And then here's the last one I want to share with you, where I did just stamping of the bundle rather than the die cutting. So you see on these two cards I have the die cutting to create the bundles, but this one I just did some stamping to create the bundles. And I did use the Scallop Contours dies, which are retiring, and I believe that they are already sold out. But I did then use that same sentiment, and I added some texture in the background. This is a retired embossing folder, the Settles 3D embossing folder. and then I added a little linen bow to tie the whole bouquet together. So anyway, I just wanted to share those Mother's Day card ideas because, like I said, Mother's Day is just around the corner. So please take advantage of the time that you have. Get your Mother's Day cards stamped and ready to go and put in the mail. Tell your mom that you love her. Thank you again so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.